Time for a Phillies victory. At least that's the hope for their fans that have filed into Miller Park here in Milwaukee for the finale of this three-game series. Bright sunshine, the roof is open. Yep, a comfortable day as the Phils and the Brewers wrap up this three-game set here in Milwaukee. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with John Crook. We'll get set for today's ballgame. The Phils and the Brewers. The Phillies offense has scored some runs in this series. The only problem is they haven't been able to overcome the bullpen of the Brewers, and they really haven't been able to overcome the power of the Brewers.
Yeah, it's unbelievable power, leading the National League in home runs, second in all baseball to the Houston Astros, and it has been on display in these first two games. Last night in a 1-1 game, Hernan Perez takes Aaron Nola, who pitched outstanding again last night. He takes him deep to give him a 2-run lead. And after Odubel Herrera hits a home run, a solo homer to tie it up, bottom of the 8th inning, Joaquin Benoit comes in. Travis Shaw, his 20th home run of the season to center field. Thought Odubel might have had a chance at that, but as we saw, it ended up way too high above his glove. But this team is built on power, their offense. If you're going to win, if you're going to beat this team today, Jeremy Hellickson has to keep them in the ballpark.
247 home runs is the pace, which would blow away the 2007 mark of 231. 48% of the runs the Brewers have scored this year have been thanks to the home run. I don't think anybody saw that coming. I think the other part of this team that many people didn't see coming is the establishment of this bullpen. A lot of no-names out of this bullpen, but they've done the job.
Yeah, but no-names who throw pretty hard. And you know, when they came in the game against the Phillies, it seems like it's strikeout after strikeout after strikeout. And look at these numbers since June 20th. First in ERA, first in opponent's average, fourth in strikeouts. And since Corey Knebel took over that closer role in mid-May, everything else just gets slotted in. We saw Hader come in, and he just blew our hitters away. But you watch these pitches, it's just fastball. We challenge you, and every once in a while we will throw a changeup to you, but it's right there is Knebel. I mean, it's just power after power, elevated fastballs. Try to catch it if you can. And, of course, last night, you know, the Phillies helped them a little bit with the Brock Stassi getting doubled off second base. But again, it was another bullpen that came in and said, you know what, we're not going to give you anything, and we just wait for our power to take over late in the game, and that's how they beat teams.
Well, that's Knebel wrapping it up last night against Cameron Rupp. So the Phils are hoping that they have enough of a lead where they don't have to see the Brewers back out of the bullpen in today's game. It is the final game of this three-game series. It'll be Jeremy Hellickson, the veteran, against Matt Garza, the veteran. When we return, we're going to head back to the CSN studios. Series. They are just now exchanging the lineup cards out near home plate. I know they love the umps, but they're not looking at their watch. We got a little baseball game to get rolling here at 1:10 local time. Pete Buchanan, the manager of the Phils, changing lineup cards with Ed Cedar, the third base coach for the Brewers. Pete's hoping that his team can rally today and get some runs, get some more runs, because what they've scored so far, the 8 runs and the 8 extra base hits, just have not been enough against the Brewers. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Odubel Herrera is back in the leadoff spot. Pete said, well, I'm looking for some offense, and he has been one of our better hitters. Freddie Galvis bats second, hitting .248 overall. He started each of the 90 games the Phillies have played so far. A couple other things. Andrew Knapp is back in the lineup, batting 5th for the Phils. Matt Garza will be the starting pitcher for the Brewers. The veteran right-hander is 4-4 on the year with an ERA of 3.98. 72 in the third inning so far for Garza, who has been better recently. And for his career, he's got 91 wins and 101 losses. Time now for our Liberty Mutual player profile. Well, John, we saw him back in 2008 when he pitched for the Tampa Bay Rays in the World Series.
Yeah, dominant in that postseason for the Tampa Bay Rays. Power pitcher, high energy guy too. I think, you know, it seems like he's gotten older. He's a little more mature, but it seems like, you know, he can be rattled by at times, and that's hopefully with Odubel leading off, we can get some rattle going.
Odubel is strolling up to the plate to get this game started. The Phillies have scored first twice in this game, or this series I should say, but the Brewers have come from behind in both series so far. All right, here we go. Garza is ready to go. So is Odubel Herrera. This will be the last time the Phillies and the Brewers will face each other here. Next week, the Brewers will return the favor in Philadelphia. Game 3 of this series is officially underway, and the first pitch is grounded to second. One pitch, one away. What does that do for your Nissan keys to the game, John Kruk?
Well, kind of put a damper on one of them, but keys to the game. You got to get the lead and keep the lead. Like you said, we've had leads in both games of this series. We have not been able to keep them, of course, and energy from the leadoff hitter, and that doesn't mean swinging at the first pitch that's running down and away from you, but he's still going to have 3 more attempts at it. So we need some energy from the leadoff spot to get things going and hopefully get us 1 win here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, Aaron Altair, who had been leading off before the hamstring injury, is out again today. He ran earlier today, but Pete is still unsure as to whether he's going to go on the DL or not. First pitch is a strike. There's Aaron. If he goes on the disabled list, it's a 10-day disabled list. And if he's placed on it, it'll be retroactive to Saturday. Outside, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Galvis hitting .248 with 10 home runs and 37 runs batted in. And it's fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another good crowd this Sunday afternoon.
Beautiful crowd, and that's the thing with Garza, T-Mac. He's going to challenge. He's going to throw strikes. Throws his fastball a lot.
Fly ball to shallow center field. Arcia is there, and he makes the catch. There are 2 outs. Brewers originally acquired Garza. It was more out of necessity than anything else for both parties. I don't think anybody expected, though, that he would stick around for 4 years. There was even talk last year that he would be dealt, but he's kind of stabilized everything. Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, who was just to the right of Craig Counsell. There's Daniel Nava. Nava 1 for 17 lifetime against these Brewers. And a first pitch fastball outside.
He got robbed in game 1, first game of this series. Really good play out there by Domingo Santana. Ran one down.
Same spot, 2 balls, no strikes.
But you know, you see they reinvented Matt Garza. When he first came up, it was high energy, high velocity, trying to throw it by everyone, and now he pitches. He's not going to throw it 95, 96 anymore. It's more 89, 90, 91. But he's going to try to locate, change speeds, and trick you now.
Yeah, you see the movement of that glove. That he started doing that when he was with Tampa because they felt like he was tipping his pitches. But he used to be much more fidgety than he is right now.
Well, he understands the need to conserve energy,
yeah.
I would imagine.
2 balls and 1 strike to Nava. Big curveball. And it's 3-1. Eight 13 with the Minnesota Twins. 34-31 with the Rays. Not awful with the Cubs, although they weren't a very good team. Liner foul. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Manuel Knox of Willingboro. Phillies hit home run at today's ball game. Then Manny will win $100. Introducing the new signature crafted recipes at McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Who you got in the sausage race today?
I have Italian.
You got the chorizo.
You know, there's a little different spin on the sausage race today.
That's what I've been told. I thought I had the favorite going in, but now it's up in the air.
3-2 pitch, up and in, ball 4. And Nava draws a walk with 2 men down. And here's Maikel Franco. Franco is 0 for 3 against Matt Garza. Franco 223 overall with 13 homers and 47 runs batted in. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off to the right.
Saw a little bit last night with Franco. Friday night, his 4 hits, his swing was beautiful. You know, working the ball the other way. And then last night he had a couple where that overswing started coming back. I mean, he had 4 swings Friday, 4 hits Friday that his helmet didn't even think about coming off.
How would you term that overswing in there?
Well, that was more of a pull off. But you know, it's a pitch in, and he tried to get out front of it.
Career numbers here at Miller Park. For some reason, he's got very good numbers. 11 for 22 here at Miller Park.
Hope he raises that today.
In the dirt, and it's 1-2.
Still marveling over that 12 dozen baseballs used in a game.
Well, I think last night it was a clear indication. Stephen Vogt was the catcher, and every ball that was in the dirt, every one. He didn't even throw it back to the pitcher. He immediately threw it out and had his hand out waiting for a new baseball.
Well, there's one right there.
There's Vogt.
His buddy just got traded today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sean Doolittle.
Yeah, Doolittle and Matson both getting traded today from the A's to the Washington Nationals.
It's going to help.
And a foul ball. And Franco stays alive.
Crowd has to re-tee.
They have to temper down a little bit.
They have to re-tee it. They got a little out in front of that one. I had to
Pull hook that one out of bounds with the clap.
They're just
disappointed, Mikel. Disappointed.
Yeah.
It went in a gap somewhere.
They're just hankering to cheer something here in Milwaukee. Inside, 3-2. So he's run the count full to the last two hitters. Today is already game number 90 for the Phillies. They come in 29-60 on the year. Runner goes, pitch outside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks for Garza, who you and I were talking about before the ball game. He doesn't generally walk a lot of guys.
Yeah, but again, when you don't have that overpowering fastball, you got to try to trick guys and give the Phillies hitters credit. Well, 3-2 pitch to Nava was right at his coconut, so tough to swing at that one. But how many times have we seen Maikel Franco swing at that pitch with 2 strikes? And he laid off, and Andrew Knapp's been swinging the bat pretty good. So we're hopefully this could be get a big 2-out hit here, played at least one, and take another lead against these guys.
Yeah, Knapp batting 5th for the first time. Overall hitting .250, making his 38th start of his rookie season. You want to talk about somebody who's changed his hitting style from day one. Andrew Knapp used to have the bat down by his belt from the left side, and now has it up on his shoulder, or toward his shoulder a little bit more. The thought is that his hands won't take as long to get back into a set position.
I remember Eric Davis, when he came up, he had his hands way down by his belt, and he had a hitch. He bounced him, tried to bounce him up, but I mean, the book on him was, just pound him in with hard stuff. If you didn't get it in there, now he made you pay, but if you got it in there, you had a great chance.
Two balls and 1 strike to Knapp. 21 pitches now after getting the first hitter on 1 pitch. His ball to strike ratio is teetering to the wrong side. Ground ball softly to the right side. That does run well, and they just barely get him. Phillies leave a couple base runners here in the first. We'll move to the bottom of the first. Jeremy Hellickson getting ready to go. Of this series. That's a good thing, because the Cubs have won the first 2 games of their series, so their lead is 5.5. So their lineup brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Domingo Santana was off yesterday, but he's back in the lineup and batting in the number 2 spot. That means Eric Thames is off. Ryan Braun is still in there hitting 3rd. We thought maybe he'd have today off. And then there's a couple other changes. Aguilar starts at first base for the Brewers, and Pena is back behind the plate for Milwaukee. They'll face right-hander Jeremy Hellickson. Hellickson 5-5 on the year. His last outing, he allowed 3 earned runs in 6 innings of work. He has not won since the 3rd week of May, and trying to pick up his 6th victory of the season.
Well, no surprise with Jeremy Hellickson. We talk about it on every 5th day when he does pitch it. Not a hard thrower, 90-mile-an-hour average, change curve cutter. We'll say it again, his changeup, if he has a really good changeup, he's got a chance of going deep into this game. But if that changeup is not located well, then it could be a very short outing for him. That changeup is the bread and butter which he lives by.
Yeah, the number 1 and number 2 hitters in each lineup have really had excellent years against him. It's a shocking number. The first and second hitters in the lineup against Hellickson are hitting .327. And then everybody else is hitting .236. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to BR. BR is 3 for 9 in this series, and 10 for his last 26. Another foul ball, 1-2. Today's ball game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. There you go. Jeremy Hellickson's numbers. In April, he was 4-0 with a 1.80 ERA. And since that time is 1-5. On the outside corner. 92-mile-an-hour fastball and 1 away. Take a look at our pitch cast presented by Mazda.
We'll take it. Could have been a little off, but early in the game, sometimes the umpires, sometimes on Sundays, the umpires are in giving moods.
That's right.
Hear that? They want to get out of here.
Here is Santana, who takes down and away.
But that's not the case with this crew.
Very objective.
Thank you.
And patient.
Yep.
Santana hitting .293 with 15 home runs, 50 runs batted in. He was an 18-year-old kid when the Phillies traded him to the Astros in the Hunter Pence trade. He was by no means a throw-in. In fact, a lot of folks felt like he was the key to that deal. Over the last 10 days, hitting .500. And since the 1st of July, he's hitting .472, which is 3rd highest behind Jose Altuve and George Springer.
George Springer with 27 homers from the leadoff spot.
Yeah, he's having, well, they're having a special year. There's no question about that. Even with the injuries to their starters like Keuchel and McCullers, they're still just running away with the West. Up by 15.5 games.
I think early in the season with Adrian Beltre out, the Texas Rangers really missed his, not only his, what he can do both offensively and defensively, but his leadership.
Yeah, the other part of it too is that the Astros are just manhandling their division. A line drive to left center field. That's going to go to the wall. And Santana's going to pull into second base with a double. His 19th double of the year. Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot.
Yes, indeed. You ain't kidding. Now, Hellickson tried a couple down and away, didn't get calls. Didn't get him in the strike zone to get calls. And you see where Knapp's sitting down the middle or down and away, and that pitch just too much of the plate. Like you said, a guy that's been as hot as Santana has been, you can't throw pitches down the center of the plate to him.
And you are right, though. I mean, Jeremy was upset about the previous pitch, which he thought he had. It'll bring Ryan Braun to the plate. Braun is 2 for 7 with a grand slam in the series.
Now here's the difference. Now we got him out with fastballs. Nola did yesterday, and Pivetta did in game 1. The breaking ball he's had really good swings on. Does Hellickson have enough in the tank to get it past Braun with his fastball?
Oh, there you go. The first one is at the knees.
I swear I think he's going up early in the count and looking off speed, because he had a good swing yesterday in his first at bat against Aaron Nola on a first pitch breaking ball.
Is that an indication that his game is slipping, that he can't catch the fastball?
Yeah, either he feels like he has a book on him that, you know, they're going to start me off slow and try to get me out with hard stuff later in the at bat.
Jeremy's got a lot of friends and family who are here visiting from Des Moines. It's about a 5.5-hour ride from Des Moines to Milwaukee. His grandparents are here. See the numbers with runners in scoring position against him. One ball and one strike to Ryan Braun. Boy, a long delay in between pitches. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I like that pitch. Change up down and into a righty. You know, the mentality of a hitter is this: if you're going to throw a pitch in, it's going to be something hard in. And Hellickson pulls the string on that pitch, even though it looked like Knapp wanted it away. It was more centered in. But when you see a pitch coming in, you have to automatically, it's okay, that's a fastball. So you speed up to change up, you miss it by a lot like Braun did.
See, 179 with runners in scoring position, and 1 for his last 18. That 1 was the grand slam. I think a lot of people thought that he would be off today as they try to nurse that calf injury, which has put him on the disabled list twice this year.
How far his back foot is now. He stood there in every single at bat. So Pivetta throwing 97, Hellickson throwing 90, stands in the same spot. I was never a big fan of guys moving up, moving back, moving in, moving away.
Ground ball flagged down by Hellickson. They've got Santana caught between second and third, and he is out at second base. Jeremy's an excellent fielder, and his defense certainly shined through there. That and the poor decision by Santana.
Yeah, not good base running by Santana. I mean, they're looking at it right now to see if they want to challenge, but doesn't appear that they are. But yeah, Hellickson makes a great play on that. Santana just got caught out in no man's land. And look, here's the thing: when you're on second base, you're in scoring position. With 1 out, if that ball gets through, okay, maybe you can't score, but it's only 1 out. It'll be first and third with 1 out, and you have, you know, your leading RBI guy coming up to bat. So you make a mistake like that, now runner on first. It's going to take, you know, with Braun's calf injury, if it's going to take something, you know, in the gap away from where the fielders are shading. If you have a chance of scoring Braun on an extra base hit, the only thing he's going to score on now is a home run, which I'm not.
You're not advocating.
Not an advocate of home runs by the other team. No.
Shaw did hit one last night that eventually won the game for the Brewers. It's been a remarkable year for him. 20 home runs, 66 runs batted in. He has reached base safely in 15 straight. I think out of that, the 17 runs and the 15 RBIs during those 15 games have really stood out. The home run last night turned out to be the Toyota turning point.
8th inning, bottom of the 8th inning, tie game, and Joaquin Benoit tried to throw a fastball by him, and Travis Shaw said, I think I'll handle this one.
That was a straight fastball right there.
Yeah, it was. Right into the barrel of the bat.
1 ball and 1 strike to Shaw. Runner goes. How about that? Pitch is taken low. Throw to second. Not in time. I guess his calf is feeling better. 5 stolen bases now for Braun on the year.
It has to be feeling better. You know, when he hit that grand slam, the hopping and the skipping and the jumping. But this is, you know, when Ryan Braun was a younger player, this was part of his game. He could run, he could steal bases, and you know Hellickson's not going to throw over, so you know he gets a little bit of a cheating lead, and he puts himself in scoring position for the guy that's got leading their team in RBIs.
Down the right field lines. It's hooking foul and out of play. Well, he's hit a couple long foul balls. The good news is that they are just strikes.
Yes, they are. Now, I wonder if Jeremy can get that fastball in on his hands here. Cutter in, maybe a hard cutter in. Still has a couple pitches to work with.
Grounder foul. Home plate umpire today is Todd Tishner. Kerwin Danley is the crew chief over at third. Adam Hammery is at first. Dan Bellino at second. That hit a vacant seat on the fly. And
thank goodness.
Yeah, and everybody is looking around for the baseball. It's all the way down in the second or third row after it ricocheted. Two balls, 2 strikes to Shaw. And Hellickson with another long pitch count inning. Garza had the same in the first, the former teammates.
So what you're saying is,
well, neither starter is going to be around for the length of this game.
It's not a quick paced game.
Or that. 3-2.
Worries me that this long have been a bat for Shaw. I wonder if he has the advantage here against Hellickson. He's seen every pitch so far. Let that cutter in. I'd like to see that one. Keep him getting tied up, break his bat, hit a grounder to Tommy at first.
Ground ball toward first under Tommy Joseph's glove, but Hellickson's there to cover as Ty Kelly throws out Shaw. 4-1 on the putout. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. Hellickson wins the battle. We'll go to the second in a scoreless game. game with the NBC Sports app. Download now to keep up with all your favorite Philly teams. Keep up with the Phillies as they head to South Florida after today's ball game to play the Marlins for the next 3 days beginning tomorrow night. And the birthday boy, Tommy Joseph, leads things off. Tommy celebrating his 26th birthday. The first pitch, a high strike, and it's 0-1. Tommy is 0 for his last 12. Hitting .245 with 15 home runs. Oh, 0-2. A couple fastballs in different spots. Phillies in this series have picked up 13 hits and 10 walks. They've scored 8 runs. They've had other opportunities, but they're 3 for 19 with runners in scoring position in this series. And there's the first strikeout for Garza. Threw him basically fastballs.
Yeah, I don't know if, Tommy, we've been seeing in this series a lot of fastball takes for Tommy, and I mean that's a good pitch, but 2 strikes, it's too close to take. You gotta let that one fly.
Nick Williams has struck out 6 times in this series, up for the first time here. They're thinking that he's going to pitch backwards more because that's what his reputation has been recently. As the liner out toward left center field, that's going to drop in for a hit. And Williams is aboard with a 1-out single. Saturday, July 29th, the Phillies take on the Atlanta Braves. Now, after the ball game, you want to stick around for a free post-game concert featuring Grammy-nominated singer Hunter Hayes. Your game ticket is your concert ticket. No additional purchase is necessary. Tickets are on sale now by going to Phillies.com. And check out Phillies.com/Hunter Hayes for more info.
You can steal off Garza. Runners are 8 for 8 this year on stolen bases.
They throw behind Williams. He's back easily. Now, when a pitcher is that, when you have success against him, do you want to go as early as you can?
Yeah. I guess with the 8th hitter coming up with only 1 out, you don't want to get thrown out, and then if Ty Kelly doesn't get on, then Hellickson has to lead off the 3rd inning. But I just think you're at this point where yesterday was a struggle offensively, and you got to go. You got to put pressure on I always thought if you're playing a better team, you got to try to put pressure on.
I agree with that. Mickey did have a meeting today with all of the offensive players. Mickey Morandini talking base running. The Phillies have been picked off 9 times this year at first, second, or third, combination of all 3. Kelly hits it out toward left field. Ryan Braun circles around, dances around, and makes the catch. Two outs, and here is Hellickson. In that meeting today, they talked about aggressiveness, not only when you're trying to steal, but just aggressiveness overall. 9 pickoffs. It ties the Cardinals for the most in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and I'm sure the pickoffs were one thing, and Brock Stassi getting caught with the line drive last night later in the game. I'm sure that was a topic of conversation.
Maybe even what you talked about the other night about not taking that extra base on a sacrifice fly.
Yeah. Freddie's First game of the series with the base hit with Aaron Altair on second base, and Santana airmailed it. And
ground ball back toward the middle, and it'll be gobbled up by Arcia, and he'll just run it to the second base bag. Fielder's choice, no runs, one hit, and one man left. We'll move to the bottom of the second. Season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Last of the second, and Jesse Aguilar leads it off for the Brewers, playing first base today, facing Jeremy Hellickson. Hellickson made the last out in the top of the second, so he's just now finishing up his warm-up tosses. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, it is that time of the year that managers start to, get a little concerned that their guys may get distracted with all the conversation that's going around about the trade deadline as it approaches at the end of July. So Pete Mackanin kind of took the bull by the horns as they arrived in Milwaukee on Friday, sat his entire team down to have a conversation about that. And he said the message was very simple. He's like, look, you're going to hear rumors. You might even hear your name in those rumors. But what I'm going to ask you guys to do is to ignore those. You may get traded. You may not get traded, but you got to go out and play every day as if this is the most important game. And, he said that they had a conversation in that meeting back and forth with some of his players as they looked forward to the second half. And, guys like Jeremy Hellickson, who have heard their names in trade conversations over the last 2 years, or Pat Neshek, those are veteran guys that understand how to handle it. And they've all said the right thing, saying, that whether they get traded or not, if they were to stay here in Philadelphia, they would enjoy that. If they get traded to a contender, they'd enjoy that too. But I think Pete was really putting that message to some of the younger players that perhaps may be hearing their names or there is some uncertainty at this time of the year. So we just wanted to get that conversation out there. Certainly a good conversation to have as you're about 2 weeks away from that trade deadline, guys.
Yeah, I think there's clubhouses around the league that are having similar conversations. Some teams are still in the race. Some are not sure whether they're in the race, and others are fully in the race for a division or a wild card spot.
Yeah, it's made a different dynamic of the trade deadline with now 2 wild card teams getting in, because he said there's so many more teams now that think they're still in races.
Fly ball to right center field, and Odubel Herrera calls off Nick Williams. Well, even like a guy like Tommy Joseph, who's just 26 today, he obviously has heard his name being talked about in trade discussions. And as Tommy has said, I've already been traded once, so I kind of understand it. It's a little different perspective now, I think, because he's in the big leagues compared to when he was in the minors.
Yeah, and getting the chance to play every day in the big leagues. And, I'm sure the Phillies outfielders have heard about the, Stanton Yelich thing, and, if they come over, okay, now what?
Yeah, because you would assume, just not knowing any of it, but you would assume that either their spot will be taken if that trade happens, or they could be involved in the trade. Here's Pena. Pena did not play last night, hitting .293 with 6 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Fly ball to left field. 2 outs here in the second.
Good pitch right there by Hellickson, getting in on the hands of Pena. See where Knapp's setting up and see where that ball is, right at the glove. And that baby got in there pretty good.
Here's Keon Broxton, who is 3 for his last 38. 3 for his last 33 here in July, but 3 for his last 38 overall.
Now Broxton hit like Andrew Knapp did.
Yes.
Spring training when I saw him.
You are absolutely right where his hands are.
But you see that pitch right there. It's, what, 90 miles an hour, 89, 90. And I mean, that was way in there.
There are a few guys, and you talked about Eric Davis, that have just lightning quick hands that they can get back and get through on pitches like that. It's a hard stance, I would think. Bobby Bonds, not Barry Bonds. Bobby Bonds used to bat that way. Swing and a miss. Well, that was an easy inning for Jeremy Hellickson. 1, 2, 3 go the Brewers. We'll move to the third. Phillies nothing, Brewers nothing. Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, John, who has the lowest all-time ERA in Brewers history? The lowest all-time ERA in Brewers history. The answer will be revealed later in the game. It's a minimum of 500 innings. The earned run average is a little higher than I thought it would be. But he is still a friend of the Phils, this former Brewer. Swing and a miss by Odubel. A wonderfully entertaining fellow. He does one of the better Dan Baker impersonations that I've heard.
No.
I'm just throwing some window dressing out there for you. 1 ball, 1 strike. He retired as a Philly. Breaking ball, and it's 1-2 to Odubel, who grounded out on the first pitch his first time up.
Yeah, it swung at a first pitch ball, and the first pitch is at bat. Thank goodness he missed it.
Opposite way. That brings us to our Geico quote of the day. Odubel on clearing his head during the All-Star break. I didn't think about baseball at all. At least I tried not to. I even avoided watching baseball on TV. I knew those 4 days I had to be on vacation. I wanted to have them for my own time and forget about baseball and forget about what happened in the first half.
Very smart. Very smart move. Clear the head, man. That's.
Yeah, a year ago he was in the All-Star game, so he was still thinking about baseball.
He didn't get a chance to clear his head.
Guess not. A lot going on up there.
Let's hope it's a double.
Upstairs, 2-2. But Garza just peeked to the on-deck circle to see who was up next. It's Freddie Galvis.
I hope Freddie's taking his mind off Odubel.
Line drive down the right field line. That is going to be in for an extra base hit. And Odubel hustling around first, going to second. He's thinking about 3. And now he puts the brakes on. He might have been able to make it to third.
Yeah, quite possibly. But again, he's a leadoff hitter in the inning. No use risking it.
Number 13, the shortstop, Freddie Galvis.
27 doubles now for Odubel Herrera.
He got a mistake by Matt Garza. That ball stayed up. A little shorter stride for Odubel. And I thought he had a chance too, but he keeps looking and looking, and you know what? No use rushing. No use. You know why? Look, if he'd have got thrown out at third base, then it's like, what are we doing? You know, but you know, you have to trust that Freddie can get him over, and you have to trust that Nava or Mikel can bring him in.
Galvis bunts, and it's foul, and it's 0-1. Now, if you're Sammy, will you talk to him, though, about just looking at him and not looking for the ball? What's your theory on that?
I would prefer that he do it on his own.
Okay.
You know, again, that ball's down the corner. Does it slow him up when he's looking back like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's something we'd have to ask him, but I would assume it would.
Out to left field, playable for Braun. Freddie slams the bat down. One away here in the third.
And that's the thing that, you know, the coaches, Pete McCann, the manager, preach to these guys. We got to execute. And, you know, Freddie just didn't get the job done. There's no other way to look at it.
Watch his reaction.
It's a helpless feeling, and we've all done it. You know, when you fail to help your team by getting a guy moving it, advancing a runner with an out, it is very frustrating.
Well, Daniel Nava walked his first time up. Outside and high, 1 ball, no strikes.
And this is where you hope that Odubel said, all right, he didn't do his job and get me over, so I'm going to try to get the third with less than 2 outs and, you know, try to steal third and get thrown out. A lot of, you know, Shaw's so far off because they shift on Nava. You wonder if, you know, he would still be moving coming to third base. He wouldn't be able to get set. to take a throw from Pena.
Play, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Nava. Nava making his 31st start of the season, hitting .291 with 3 homers and 15 runs batted in. Already 167 plate appearances. I don't know what they expected. I think they expected somewhere between maybe 200 and 275 for Nava, but he's played a lot more. Fortunately, he has held his own and then some. Out to left field again, and Ryan Braun. 2 away. Phillies now 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position today. And here is Franco.
Leadoff double. Now you're hoping for a 2-out base hit to score him. Kind of been a microcosm of the Phillies offense all season, hasn't it?
Yeah, Matt talked yesterday with Murph about this is the one area where he wishes they were a little bit better, was 2 outs with runners in scoring position.
Well, routine grounder to second base will score a run. That's what he did in game 1.
They throw behind Odubel Herrera, and he is safe at second base. Juan Samuel, after he doubled, reminded him over and over again that Pena would throw behind him. He almost got him.
Well, they're looking at it. Good pitch for Pena to throw on. Tell you what, did his hand get in, or did Villar block his right hand from getting to the base temporarily?
Yeah, they've decided not to review it.
Sigh of relief for Juan Samuel and Odubel.
Well, we mentioned the Phillies and the Cardinals have been picked off 9 times this year.
That would have put us in the lead.
That put us in the lead, and it got me thinking about what the record is since they started keeping those numbers in 1974. The record is 18. St. Louis Cardinals in 91. And the Blue Jays in 91 were picked off 17 times. Three balls, no strikes. Franco gets the green light.
And he got an off-speed pitch. But there's the swing. That's the one right there. You see how that front foot, a little longer stride. He's getting back out there where he was when he's struggling, and you know he doesn't need to do that. That short stride, he's got plenty of power to generate enough power with that. Just lift his foot up and set it down to hit it out of any ballpark.
Left side of the infield, Arcia. Few steps into the outfield, makes the catch, and the Phils leave one in scoring position. They got the leadoff double by Odubel, but couldn't move him over. We'll head to the bottom of the third. You buy your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by McDonald's, introducing the new signature crafted recipes at McDonald's. I'm loving it. Last of the third here in Milwaukee, our only trip in. Brewers will be in Philadelphia next weekend. Arcia will lead it off, and then Matt Garza, top of the order, against Jeremy Hellickson. Arcia hitting .279, 9 homers and 33 runs batted in. And it's 0-1. Oh, and 2. A little tapper foul. The ball got a piece of Arcia. Oh, it did get more of a piece.
Yeah, that shin guard ain't going to protect that one.
No. It was Aaronola, who last night went 6 innings for the Phils.
It's good. He's been really, really good his last handful of starts for this team.
He has 7 hits, scattered 7, but only allowed 2 runs.
Yeah, but you know, it's just, you know, with this offense, the way he battled and only gave up 2.
He was down in the zone again, which has been his objective. He was out running and throwing today with Jared Eichhoff. Eichhoff's going to start tomorrow for the Phils. But I think Bob likes, you know, the mind of Nola. Like Nola's thinking about that next step as a pitcher. That really wasn't as close as Arcia made it seem, but it's 1-2.
That ball was in the glove before he moved. That act like,
oh man,
make the game fun again.
Down the right field line, out of play.
Tell you what makes the game fun again: executing.
Executing, being aggressive, like you talked about. Swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts for Hellickson. And 1 away here in the third.
You know, I've come to grips with the fact that guys are going to stand there and watch home runs, and you you know, the histrionics, run around the bases and the stuff in the dugout. Okay, that's fine, great, whatever. But Carlos Correa, before the break, got mad at Ozuna of Toronto when he hit a grounder back to him, and Ozuna was kind of staring at him while he was running to first, and then threw it to first and got him out. And Correa took exception to it, like he was showing me up. You can't have it both ways.
No, not in this day and age. You're absolutely right.
You cannot have it both ways. If you want to stand there and pimp your home runs, that's fine. But if a pitcher does something, you can't get mad at him.
Yeah, I think it's kind of opened the door, and I'm fine with it. But I think it has kind of opened the door.
You know, I was always against all that stuff. But, you know, if both teams accept it, both teams have players that do it, so be it. But like I said, you can't have it both ways. You know, if your guys are going to do it, don't get mad at the other team if they do it. That Garza's up there like he doesn't want to hit.
2 for 23 this year. Just a bit outside.
Now the next day, Correa hit 2 home runs.
Payback, if you feel that way.
Yes.
Garza hustled up the line, and Tommy Joseph. Oh, they say he's on the bag. They may look at that one.
I don't know. Garza, see him waving like he was off the base. Garza ain't going back to the dugout.
Craig Counsell says, hold on a second. We're going to take a peek at it. First base umpire Adam Hammery was looking all the way at the foot and pointed to it. Foot's on, foot's on. Foot is on.
How do we know?
That's tough to tell. They're not going to review
checking,
it.
So.
He may have just hung on to it. 4-3 on the put out. Curveball, and it's 0-1. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposition 1-2-3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Hellickson did that in the second. Boy, I thought he hurt himself when he bent down like that.
Well, I think he was more frustrated with that pitch that didn't quite reach home plate.
Swing and a miss. A little cheese there from Hellickson. Larry Anderson told us today that Dennis Eckersley came up with that term, cheese, for fastball.
Wonder why.
I don't know.
What's I don't think of fast moving when I think of cheese. You know.
No. We have to ask him whenever we see him again.
I make a point of that. He's a unique individual.
Larry or Dennis Eckersley?
Oh, Larry, we know that. Everyone in Philadelphia knows that.
Foul back.
Greg Luzinski's here again today.
Supposed to be here today.
He is. He called me. He's over there, not far from us. Same level we're on. And
he's in the second level.
With all the red underneath the shade.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he requested that.
I think he's staying until tomorrow. Swing and a miss. And Hellickson throws the changeup to get VR. Second time today. 4 strikeouts for Hellickson. And he has retired the last 8 hitters that he has faced. We'll head to the 4th. K-Cup pods. Call upon the local company who has perfected the perks of same-day delivery. Order by 11:30 a.m. and your WB Mason driver delivers right to your break room. Local, fast, and convenient. Who but WB Mason? Here in Milwaukee, the Phillies and the Brewers scoreless as we go to the top of the fourth. Fan group that John was alluding to, led by Greg Luzinski and Scott Palmer, are here to watch the Phils one more day. In Seattle, when the fan group came out, they won both games. Here, they've lost two.
You
so
notice
far.
they're changing their lock. You see,
yep.
To the left of Greg is Scott Palmer, and to the left of Scott is Gene Luzinski, the Bull's wife.
Right.
And yesterday, Gene was sitting beside Bull, and Scott was on the other side, so they switched it up to try to get us a win.
And then Kathy Palmer, Scott's wife, is next to Gene, so they have mixed the entire thing up. No balls and one strike. We think of very positive things to say about the Bull today.
Well, yeah, with Dave Buck being the snitch.
No balls and one strike to Knapp. He grounded out his first time up. 1-1.
You got to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, 4 runners left on base so far for the Phils.
Yeah, at some point, a hit's going to come with someone in scoring position. I have a feeling.
0 for 4 today.
Of course, these shadows creeping out isn't much fun.
Out to right center field. And Broxton got a good track on it. 1 out. Well, this certainly was an upgrade when the Brewers opened it. You played at the old stadium, County Stadium.
Yep.
1 game you played there?
3.
3 games?
Well, 1 game in the field. Didn't end well.
Yeah, you were 4 for 16 at County Stadium.
That ain't too good, is it?
Well, you had an RBI.
Probably a ground out with someone on third.
No, check that. You didn't have an RBI.
Yeah. Maybe they were playing the infield then.
You walked 4 times, though.
I got 20 at bats in 3 games.
You have 20 plate appearances in 4. You played 4 games there.
Here?
Yeah. Let's see when they were. 1995.
Yeah, I remember we got into a bench clear with that one.
Check swing. Did he go? No. You got into a bench clearing brawl?
Yeah. I forget his name was pitching. Wegman is this. First name or last name was Wegman.
Okay.
Bill Wegman.
Bill Wegman.
And we'd hit a couple home runs, and he threw 3 pitches at Ron Karkovice, our catcher, like behind him, behind his head. And then finally on a 3-0 pitch, he drilled him, and it was early in the game. And so, you know, they call down the bullpen and say Dibble's pitching the 6th and the first guy he's going to hit. And, you know, Rob had a little, you know, he threw hard.
Yes, he did.
Wasn't afraid to throw at someone, and I forget who it was. Pat Listash maybe or someone. I mean, he threw it between his head and his helmet.
So that was a 3-game series?
I don't know.
Because you did have 1 game. You played a 1 game. It was 17-13.
That might have been it. And pitcher's duel.
Yeah, you guys won that one 17-13. That was your day, though. You had 2 hits. Scored 4 in the 8th. They scored 4 in the 8th and 3 in the 9th. Williams grounds it out to shortstop. And Garza has a very comfortable top of the 4th inning. Phillies go down in order for the first time this afternoon. We've played 3.5. We'll move on to the bottom of the 4th. Hellickson back to work in a 0-0 game. to you by Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota, let's go places. Bottom of the 4th inning. Neither team has mustered a whole lot of offense. It's kind of the same game that we had yesterday. In fact, neither team scored in the first 4 innings yesterday. And then the Phils got a run to the top of the 5th, and the Brewers tied it in the bottom of the 5th. Jeremy Hellickson tried to win his first game since the 19th of May. He is 0-4 with 5 no decisions at a 5.47 ERA. Since that, the Phillies are 1-8 during those games, which I think is remarkable because for a long time they would just win every game he pitched almost. They were always, he always kept them in games. Domingo Santana, who doubled his first time up, he's now hit in 7 straight. Talk about a young man that's filled out. 6'5", 220 pounds. Phillies had him when he was in Lakewood. You mentioned he was 18 years old, and he was nowhere near 220 pounds. But he was a good player.
Yeah, that's the thing that's so hard about evaluating high school age kids is, you know, are they going to fill out? Are they going to grow? Are they going to?
Daniel Nava tracks that one down after retreating. A little top spin. Yeah, that year when he was 18 and he was in Lakewood, he hit 182. I'm sorry, in his second year at Lakewood, he hit 269. He had 7 home runs and 32 runs batted in. I think at that point they anticipated that, you know, if you project that he would be a good major leaguer. I don't know if they knew exactly how good, but the allure of having Hunter Pence, who had some really good numbers for the Phils in a year's time. Astros wanted Domingo Santana as the 4th person in that deal.
And we need a Hunter Pence type player now at high energy. Calf must be awesome today.
Seriously.
Best it's felt in a long time. Maybe he loosened it up when he was doing the jumping forearm smashes after his grand slam in the dugout with every player.
How much do you think 373 against the Phillies has to do with him playing today?
Yeah, that makes it feel a lot better too.
No balls and 1 strike to Braun. And 1 ball, 1 strike. Out of play, 2-2.
Now, I don't have an issue with it, but remember a few years ago when they really got strict on the coaches staying in the coaches box?
Yeah.
Did they just disregard that now?
Yes. This year, this past offseason, they said it was going to be a point of emphasis, mandatory for the third base and first base coaches to stay in the box.
Huh.
And I don't think we've ever seen anybody enforce it.
Yeah, I mean, you're just wasting chalk by putting that box out there.
Yes, you are.
Well, I mean, look at it. Look at this field. Where's the most perfect grass? right in that box.
Yeah.
There ain't no one ever stands there.
It's green, it's thick, it's lush. I mean, Ed Cedar's not even in the same zip code.
No, he's closer to Daniel Nava than he is Maikel Franco.
I think he's giving Ryan Braun a little too much credit. Ball 4. First walk issued by Jeremy Hellickson. Monday, July 31st, you're going to want to stick around after the Phillies take on the Braves. If you're 14 and under, it's Nemours Kids Run the Bases. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. You can get more information on that. Let's see when the other dates are. If you can't make that one, come on out to the ballpark for Nemours Kids Run the Bases. Travis Shaw grounded out to Ty Kelly his first time up.
Yeah, and he hits that same ball now. It's first and third.
He shows bunt. Maikel just looked into the dugout thinking, well, should I move a little bit? Ball one hunting for somebody, and it's 1-1. Some of the pitchers.
I hit one that's going to pitch against us next week. No, I'm kidding. Don't want to see anyone get hurt.
The toss over, and Braun is back. Snuck a 91-mile-an-hour fastball by him.
That was by him. Yeah, Jeremy went quicker that time. And that's what he's so good at is, you know, he can hold it, he can go quicker, but his mechanics never change on either one.
The toss over Braun. John mentioned it before. When he was younger, when he was healthy, he could steal a base and would do it quite often. He has 185 career stolen bases. And a strike 3 call on the outside part of the plate, right at the knees. 5th strikeout for Hellickson.
Travis Shaw didn't like the pitch. Kind of don't blame him. It's a tough one to hit. You watch Shaw right here. He shook his head no, but the sad thing is about that is that that's a no-win situation.
Yeah, it's not like he's gonna say, you know what, come on back, I made a mistake.
Boy, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
They say that if you stick around long enough, you'll see everything. I don't think I've ever seen that.
That won't be seen, no.
Aguilar flied out to center his first time up.
And now here's where you got to keep your eye on Braun.
Nice play by Joseph.
I think he wanted to let Shaw have every opportunity to hit that hole because Ty Kelly couldn't shift as far. Had a little bigger hole for Shaw. But now with the righties coming up and Aguilar and Pena, it wouldn't surprise me here if he thinks about running.
Broken bat, Looper right back to the mound, caught by Jeremy Hellickson. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, 1 man left Brewers have just the one hit that was back in the first. We'll move to the fifth. Answer. All right, John, here we go. Who has the lowest all-time ERA in Brewers history with a minimum of 500 innings pitched?
Yeah, it kind of threw me by surprise, but you know, because he was a reliever.
Yes.
But it is our old friend Dan Plesac.
One of the best, Dan Plesac at 3.21 earned run average. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Every time you think about Dan Plesac, I mean, I laugh. I just think he's one of the more entertaining people that I've ever come across in this game. Could be one of the nicest people, too. But you think about his career. You know, he had 158 saves during his career, an ERA of 3.64. When he finished up with the Phils, he retired after the 2003 season with a 2.70 ERA.
I talked to him about that, like, you know, when he said he was done, and we like, why? You know, you're still effective. You know, you could probably pitch another couple years. And
as a situational lefty.
Yeah, but you know, it's not the game itself. It's everything that goes into having to play that game. You know, the off-season preparation, the spring trainings, that, you know, being away from your family and all that stuff, that plays into a lot of these guys' decision of, like, I was done because I was done.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, with Dan, I mean, he was still an effective pitcher.
41 years old when he retired.
Yeah.
But for the Brewers, he had 133 saves during his career, as Ty Kelly draws a leadoff walk here in the fifth. Pitch for the Phils in 0-2 and 0-3. Phillies got him from the Toronto Blue Jays. Played for Bo.
Sure he has stories.
I'm sure he does.
I think even Larry Bo would laugh at him. And that, do people know in Philadelphia how funny of a person Larry Bo is?
I think that in Philadelphia, Larry could be funny, mean, whatever. They'd love him anyway.
All in the same paragraph, if he wanted to. He is funny, though.
All you got to do is watch him for a game. You might laugh a few times.
He's over there looking at the third baseman to see what he's doing. Surprised Hellickson wasn't button on that first pitch.
Ball gets away, and that's going to move Kelly up to second. Now it's 2-0. I would think Hellick's is still bunting here.
Absolutely. You got to get him to third.
Boy, that really ate up Pena.
Yeah, that's not textbook, though, is it?
No.
He had looked like he had no desire to try to get in front of a block. I thought he could glove it, and we appreciate it. Tough play either way, but you would think he would want to try to block that one.
And it's butted in front of the plate. The play is to first. Sacrifice is successful. 3-4 on the putout. Friday, August 11th, will the Phillies take on the New York Mets. Pete Rose will be placed onto the Phillies Wall of Fame, and the Pete Rose bobble figurine will be given out. Compliments of Toyota. It's part of the Toyota Alumni Weekend festivities. To get your tickets, go to Phillies.com/theme nights for more information. All right, so Odubel's doubled. He's grounded out. They'll play the infield in this scoreless game in the top of the 5th.
That's where Odubel has to get a good pitch. He was grounded out to second on a first pitch. He swung at it looked like a changeup the first pitch, his second at bat before, of course, hitting the double. But you know, this first pitch is important. You can't chase a Garza pitch. You better make sure it's a strike. And guess what?
Odubel hitting .306 here in the month of July. Just a .182 though, with runners in scoring position. He's got Ty Kelly at third. One ball and one strike.
Santana and Braun have good arms. I'm not sure about Broxton.
Broxton has 4 outfield assists this year.
I think that throw the first night, though.
It looked like a grenade.
Yeah.
Looper foul over the dugout. Nice catch.
What's the odds? The only guy in that section, look at that, we're wearing a glove. And they hit it right to him.
Had it all the way.
That's when you know you're struggling. You got 50 people there and only one glove, and you hit it right to the guy with the glove.
He's getting cheered.
Oh, yeah, you gotta love that. Did he bring his own mason jar to this? I mean, that's his West Virginia staple. Mason jars.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And Odubel lifts it down the right field line toward the corner. It is a fair ball. And it'll be a ground rule double. A run will score. The Phillies are on top 1-0. Odubel with his second double of the game.
Are we getting back to double?
We're getting close.
Double Herrera. That beautiful piece of hitting. You know, Garza threw a fastball that he got jammed on and hit it foul. That guy with the glove in the stands, and then he throws him. Looked like he throws him a changeup, but watch how he lands on that front foot, and then he hesitates just for that split second, just enough to get the barrel on the ball.
Wow.
Wow, how close is that? I mean, you know what? We're due for some luck.
Seriously. We're due for like a season's worth of luck, the way things have gone. Freddie Galvis is 0 for 2, and he lines it foul. It's 0-1. 28 doubles now for Odubel Herrera.
Now this is a situation where, you know, with 1 out, maybe if Odubel thinks he can get a good jump on Garza.
Popped up. Third baseman Shaw gives way to Arcia. Freddie's popped out twice to the shortstop. And now Nava's coming up with a runner at second.
Yeah, twice to the shortstop and 1 to the left fielder.
Is that a slow bat? Is that what it is?
I'm not sure he's just picking up the ball. it looks like they're trying to make a conscious effort to elevate the ball against him. Not a 2-out hit.
Take it.
Newman's got to be careful with the shift on. Garcia's right behind him.
A high fly ball to short center. Broxton in the sunshine makes the one-handed catch. Phillies settle for a run. They finally get a hit with a runner in scoring position. They lead it 1-0 as we head to the middle of the 5th. The official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. Lehigh Valley lost to Rochester 4-1. Erlis Rodriguez a double and a run scored. Reading lost to Binghamton, but Mitch Walding blasted his 21st home run of the year. Cornelius Randolph was 4 for 5 as Clearwater defeated Daytona. And Williamsport defeated Lowell in 12 innings. Jake Shiner 3 for 5, 2 doubles, a home run, and 3 runs scored. Jeremy Hellickson has a 1-0 lead to work with as we move on to the bottom of the 5th inning. And he'll face Manny Pena.
Some bullpen action up for the Brew Crew. 5th inning. Maybe they have a couple guys on. Maybe they'll pinch hit for Garza and try to score a couple and try to get him a win.
Yeah, Jacob Barnes is warming up. We usually see him later in games.
That's what you like about them, though. That they don't have roles. They just this is when we need you. This is when you're pitching.
Little tapper foul. Actually, that's Rob Scahill that's up now. There's Garza. By the way, I mentioned the Williamsport score. Adam Hazley, who was the Phillies' first round pick, he continues to hit well. 13 games now in. He's hitting .347. Fly ball down the left field line. Nava toward foul territory, reaches in and makes the catch. He plucked it right off the top of the railing. And there's one away here in the 5th inning. Well, that is excellent concentration on the part of Daniel Nava.
Yeah, really good play by Nava. That ball definitely would have been in the stands. And like you said, there's a higher rail, then it dips down a little bit. And I think we got a little lucky that he got just at the corner of that. If that was more in the center of that higher rail, he might not have gotten it. But that man likes it right there.
Well, one away, and now Keon Broxton is coming up. Broxton fouls it away to the right side.
Do you remember the Major League where the first one, I guess, with Wesley Snipes was Willie Mays Hay?
Yep.
Does Brockton have the same type of swing? Or no, the second one when he was the home run hitter. You know, he went to spring training. I'm a home run hitter now.
Oh, and he was.
It was Omar Epps, I think.
Omar Epps did play him in the second one.
I think it was the second one. It's a similar swing.
Over to shortstop. Galvis has it. Tagged by Tommy Joseph. But there are 2 outs. It didn't work for Epps, and I don't think it's going to work for Broxton.
I mean, he's got 14 home runs, which I think is surprising to me, but
breaking ball to Arcia. And it's 1-0. One ball, 1 strike.
I got a feeling if you can throw anything soft away to this man up until 2 strikes, he's, you know, you watch his front foot, the path it takes, it crosses over almost the inside corner of the plate, but then it drifts back open and the hips come with it. You know, there he went to his 2-strike approach with only 1 strike, which I think is smart.
It's kind of like Michael Franco in a lot of ways. With a looper out to left center field, that'll be in for a base hit. Arcia is thinking 2 out of the box. He'll put the brakes on. And he's aboard with a 2-out single. Garza. I think is heading back to the dugout. He is. That's kind of interesting. They're going to pinch hit for him. I mean, I guess this is a thought that there hasn't been a whole lot of offense, so let's try to capitalize. You're going to bring Brett Phillips up to pinch hit.
Yeah, you still have Eric Thames in there with 23 homers of his own.
Yeah, that's who I thought they would use. Although, you know, this kid does have 17 in AAA. There is a difference, though. So Scahill's warming up in the pen.
How many pitches did Garza end up with?
Well, let's give that
He
a look.
walked a few.
71.
Wow.
That's not a lot.
Yeah, he showed the numbers of that bullpen. Maybe Craig Counsell thought, you know what, let's get 4 innings out of him then today.
He does have a couple that he hasn't used in this series so far.
Yeah, this would be a tough thing if Arcia gets thrown out, but I guess you can always double switch and take Broxton out and let Phillips stay in the 9-hole. Put Scahill coming in the 7th. You know, maybe there is a chance that Arcia runs here.
A high fly ball to deep right field. Williams going back to the wall. It is gone. Oh man, it pays off for Craig Counsell. And the Brewers take a 2-1 lead. We mentioned he had 10 home runs, or excuse me, 17 home runs in AAA. And that is his first major league home run. And it's a pinch hit home run.
So much for our second guessing.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I guess if you're a manager, you got to follow your gut and roll the dice and not second guess it.
Well, they want him to come out. Maybe there's some magic in Milwaukee this summer.
Certainly does seem to be. We talked about it in the open, the long ball, and how important it's been. That's 143 home runs now for the Brewers. Pat Murphy, the former manager of the Padres, the bench coach for Craig Counsell. One of Counsell's coaches at Notre Dame as well. You think he's got some adrenaline going right now, that kid?
First major league home run that put your team up.
Two balls and one strike.
So they had a guy named Pat Murphy coaching at Notre Dame, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Just a bit inside. No, they got a hold of the home run, the ball at least.
And here's where the Phillies can't put their heads down and say,
No.
oh boy, here we go. This is where you got to fight.
Line drive, base hit for VR. Well, it turns out that that trade with the Astros that sent Carlos Gomez and Mike Fiers to Houston has paid off in some ways already, including today with Phillips, but also with Domingo Santana, Josh Hader. Runner goes, pitches a strike, throw to second base on one hop, but not in time. Home plate umpire actually called that a ball.
Wow. Okay.
Just thought it was a little low.
I'm hoping if it was inside or outside, he missed that by a mile.
They had VR off the second base bag. Hellickson had only allowed the one hit before the 2-out single by Arcia. The looper out to left center field, and then the home run by Phillips. He had retired 12 of 13 before these 3 straight hits.
Well, shocking development. The Brewers scored more runs on a homer.
Yeah, for the 3rd consecutive game, the Phillies took the lead first. 1 ball and no strikes. Outside, 2-0.
Pace of this game has come to a screeching halt, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Pickoff play is on at second. Villar is back. A little different move by Hellickson.
I don't think we should concern ourselves so much with him. It's 2 outs. You got to get Santana right here.
Yeah, Santana already has a double today. He's 1 for 2. Lined out sharply to left his last time up. And he fouls it to even the count at 2-2. Got him. Threw him a changeup on the inner half, and that is the 6th strikeout of the day for Jeremy Hellickson. But Brett Phillips, his first major league home run, looks like he knew it too, has given the Brewers a 2-1 lead as we've completed our first 5 here in Milwaukee. Ready to start the second half the same way he finished the first. Aaron has been ready at the plate no matter where he's slated in the lineup. The only slot he hasn't batted is the 7th hole, and he's hit a red-hot .322 when put in the top 2 spots in the order. Altair finished the last 20 games of the first half batting .302 with 3 home runs, 3 doubles, and 8 RBIs. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Rob Scahill will take over here in the top of the 6th inning for the Brewers. They lead it 2-1. Thanks to a pinch hit home run by Brett Phillips. And Maikel Franco will lead it off. Scahill in his 16th game has a 3.54 ERA. Well, this bullpen has been excellent for the Brewers. We showed you the numbers during our open today. Since the 20th of June, they've got an earned run average of 2.05, and they also have an opponent's batting average against of 192. That ball is rocketed through the hole on the left side for Maikel Franco. A leadoff single here in the 6th. Andrew Knapp's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy with their Coors Cold Hard Facts.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light. And we're talking about bullpens, both the Phillies and the Brewers. Lowest bullpen ERA since June 26th. Royals on top with a 1.76. Those guys have turned it around. There you see the Phils with a 2.34, and the Brewers also in the top 7 in baseball, 2.70 for the Brewers. They certainly have been very good, as you guys mentioned, in this series, as that number continues to go down for those guys. But both bullpens have played very well since June 26th.
Yeah, last night 2 1/3 scoreless for the Brewers. The night before they had to get 11 outs, and they pitched scoreless baseball, so they've yet to allow a run against the Phillies this weekend. Andrew Knapp is the hitter. He's 0 for 2, and he grounds one through the vacant hole on the left side. A base hit. Franco will hold up at second. The Phillies now have runners on first and second with nobody out.
Here we go.
Here comes the birthday boy, Tommy Joseph.
Tommy been struggling here. You wonder if there's any thought at all, maybe trying to bunt. Nick Williams has grounded out sharply to short, and he's got a base hit.
Derek Johnson, the pitching coach for the Brewers, heading out. They do have a lefty warming up in the bullpen. Tyler Webb, he's the young man they just acquired from the Yankees. They have not used him yet. So for Scahill, this is most likely his last batter. Need a new podcast to check out? CSN has you covered. Break down the Eagles' offense, get a closer look at Markelle Fultz, and learn more about the Phillies' best prospects. Subscribe now on Apple or Google Play. CSN Podcasts, all Philly, all the time.
What do you think here?
Well, I think you're taking a chance. I don't think it's that bad of an idea because Tommy's 0 for his last 14. I think he can handle it too. Brewers, it doesn't look like they think that.
I think they got to let him swing.
And he does, and he fouls it at the plate. Tommy 264 with runners in scoring position.
We were joking with him on the bus about how many hits he gets on his birthday. How about just one? This one. Nice little line drive to right center.
Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Although you gave him a boost of confidence when you said that you.
I don't think I've ever gotten a hit on my birthday.
He needed a boost. He needed a shot in the arm.
That was it. Of course, we didn't play many games on February 9th.
No, winter ball. Though.
Winter ball. I might have got some hits in February then.
Sure you did.
Of course, winter ball's all fuzzy to me right now. Henry Hellickson talking to Bob McClure.
Think he's done?
I think if it gets to a spot in the order with a chance of drive and run, yeah.
Phillies do have bullpen action. Pinto is warming up. Fly ball foul, and it's 1-2 to Tommy.
Just think drive that ball the other way. When you see where Villar's playing it. Aguilar, I mean, there's such a big hole there between first and second.
And a line drive base hit into center field. Broncos around third. They'll hold them. Now the bases are now loaded for the Phils as Nick Williams is due up.
Hey, Tommy, happy birthday.
Well, it ends in 0 for 14.
And I tell you what, no, you can't have any predictions here, predict the future, but that throw up there by Broxton would have hit the mound too. But with no outs, you got to be safe here.
Well, with the bases loaded and nobody out, Craig Counsell's going back to the bullpen. Scahill is going to exit. And Tyler Webb will check in for the first time as a Milwaukee Brewer. We'll be back right after this. At Citizens Bank Park on Saturday, it's photo night. Fans are invited to come to the ballpark early, be out on the field by 5 o'clock because photo night starts at 5:05. It's an opportunity for fans to take photos of their favorite Phillies player. Go to Phillies.com to order your tickets and to get more information. Well, here in Milwaukee, the Phillies have loaded them up with the Brewers on top 2-1. And Tyler Webb, who the Brewers just acquired from the Yankees, pitched in 21 games in AAA, but also spent 2 different stints up with the big club. He was taken in the Rule 5 draft this past offseason by the Pirates, spent the spring with them, and then was shipped back to the Yankees. Traded for Garrett Cooper, who is 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts so far for the Yankees as their first baseman.
I think that's what's fascinating about all the Rule 5. Like, what did the Pirates see that they wanted him, and then what didn't they see in spring training that they wanted? They didn't think he would help the big club, so they sent him back to the Yankees. Attaboy,
Nick
Nick.
Williams sends one in the air to deep left center field. Going back is Broxton. It is gone! Grand slam for Nick Williams. And the Phillies have retaken the lead 5-2. That'll get the bull up off his feet. A left center field grand slam for Nick Williams, his second major league home run and his first granny. That's a pretty aggressive approach by Nick Williams.
Wow. That is huge. That is just, you know, that what did they throw in this inning? 6 pitches?
It's been pretty quick.
Franco first pitch.
That might have been the second pitch.
Nah, I think it was first. 8 pitches in the inning so far, 4 runs.
2 balls and no strikes to Kelly. By the way, Matty Knox of Williamsburg just won $100 thanks to Nick Williams in the McDonald's home run jackpot.
And they are now going to pitch hit for Hellickson.
Outside corner, 2-1.
Add on, boys, add on. This team's too powerful.
Boy, I thought they'd send Hellickson back out there again. Now that they have the lead.
Well, maybe they're thinking, you know, four's a good inning, but let's try to get more.
Line drive, base hit for Ty Kelly into left field. Fans here in Milwaukee are booing a little bit.
Well, he's faced 2 hitters, and exactly executed his pitches correctly.
No, that is true.
Number 30, Cameron Perkins. Pitch hitting. 30.
Well, Cameron Perkins will pinch hit.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have someone else up. You know, after Odubel.
Fastball low, 1-0. Perkins looking down at Juan Samuel. I really thought they'd let Hellickson stay in this game.
Yeah, I thought they might, especially with Kelly getting the hit. You can bunt him
Yep.
now. And
I mean, even to get one more inning to get 6, but he could easily. I mean, he gave up the 2 runs in the 5th, but he had retired 12 of 13 before that.
I mean, I would assume Neshek is good to go today after striking out 3 yesterday in his 1 inning.
Yeah, Pete said he thought everybody was okay. Benoit might be the one that might not be okay. Perkins lines it into left field with a base hit. Phillies are coming out with their hitting shoes on here in the 6th inning. First and second, still nobody out.
Still no one up in the bullpen.
And nobody's popped up just yet. Well, Odubel Herrera will be the hitter.
Next batter will be number 37, the center fielder, Odubel Herrera.
Odubel's raised his average to 263. This series he's 5 for 10. He's got 2 home runs, 3 doubles, driven in 4. As an RBI today, and he has 2 doubles. At a fastball, and it's 0-1.
Like Drake up in the bullpen.
Carlos Torres.
Got to get my eyes fixed. Let's add on. Come on, Odubel.
Down the left field line and out of play. In the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Webb was on his way back to join the Yankees after the All-Star break. He was in Charlotte when he got off the plane to then make the connection to Boston. When he got a message from Brian Cashman, the manager of the Yankees, saying, "Hey, we've just traded you to the Brewers." And he said, "Well, what should I do with my flight?" He said, "Well, just sit tight. They'll be calling." So he sat in Charlotte with his wife for a little while and finally connected with the Brewers. And instead of going to Boston, he got onto a plane to Milwaukee.
Now, did they get his luggage off?
That I don't know. That's a good question.
That's Murph. I mean, what's he down there for? Murph, when he comes out of the game, go find out. I'm sure he'll be happy.
I'll be sure.
2-2 to Herrera. Swing and a miss. A little sarcasm in that cheer right there.
13, shortstop, Freddie Galvis.
One away, and here's Freddie Galvis.
Don't leave him out there. You're 2 bloops and a blast away from having this thing tied. And we know what what sort of power they have.
Freddie batting right-handed for the first time today.
Freddie has that hard ground ball down the third baseline. He'll get past Shaw.
Got to regroup. 0-2. Outside, 2-2. Close pitch at 92.
Three singles.
3 singles, then the granny.
3 hard hit balls too. Well, 4, of course. The home run was pretty hard hit.
And then Kelly and Perkins followed. There's Nick Williams, who sped around the bases. Ground ball foul.
Yeah, that was you know the difference in this game. Nick with a hit yesterday, 2 hits today, but they've kind of gone away from what they did the first game and a half, and that was elevated fastballs that he's swinging through.
Popped up. But Freddie's having a tough day. Shaw makes the catch, 2 outs. Daniel Nava is due up. The 9th man to bat this inning for the Phillies.
Well, let's see if Maikel Franco go 2 for 2 this inning.
Yeah, he started it all with a single to left field. What'd you say the first 4 guys in this inning? 8 pitches?
I thought so.
Yep.
8 pitches, 4 runs. Pretty good.
It's a good ratio.
Good ratio for the Phils. So by that, if a guy throws 100 pitches, you'd assume we'd score 80 or 90 runs.
That would be a long day.
I'd probably be a record. We'll have to call Elias and see if that is. No.
There's a strike to Nava. It's 0-1. Might take them some time to get back to us on that one.
Yeah.
Got a piece of the home plate umpire, and it's 0-2.
Does Pena, when he runs, does he remind you? I guess because of the uniform. Doesn't he look like one of those old-timey catchers? It's just he looks like bow-legged, kind of, like.
I didn't see him run.
He just reminds me of one of those old-timey guys.
There we go.
Yeah, this one clips it good. Oh, man. Right in the bicep. Let's see the umpires come back to the bubble chest protector, the air mattress.
Swing and a miss. A high fastball. And the side is retired, but it was a productive inning because of Nick Williams. Williams, first pitch hunting out towards center field, his first major league grand slam. That has given the Phils a 5-2 lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Nissan.com. By WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. And by your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. Well, today on Sundays, it's a little different sausage race. The start is similar, although you look, there's not a real big pace going. And then they go to the little sausages once they get over to the first base side.
I had chorizo in this one.
And you're thinking at this point you're trouble.
I am done. But then something happens here.
Watch this. Watch the one lady. Look. She's holding Italian. And chorizo is off to the races.
I had to pay them a lot of money to do that.
I think that's cheating.
I don't think so. I thought it was a fair race. I thought it was, everyone had the same opportunity to win, and
it's a cheat.
Then someone had to come out a winner.
Cameron Perkins stays in the game and plays left field for the Phils, as Pinto will take over here in the bottom of the 6th inning for Jeremy Hellickson. Well, John, congratulations on winning today.
I won something this trip. I won a few things. There are no ghosts.
Right.
Although Larry Anderson tried to scare me every day with the story, and it worked.
Outside, and it's 2-0. Ryan Braun is 0 for 1 with a walk.
Oh, 2 more out there. Just no walks.
Carlos Torres warming up in the bullpen. Out to right field. Nick Williams has plenty of room. And one away. I think you're right on with the whole Braun thing. just having a little trouble getting that bat around with the fastball. Sunday, July 30th, when the Phillies take on the Atlanta Braves. It's a 1:35 first pitch. And it's Community Energy Fanatics Solar Bobble Body for children 14 and under. Go to Phillies.com for more information to purchase your tickets. Travis Shaw is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and he is struck out. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, you remember yesterday Braun had that punch single to right field on a fastball away. I think just watching his swing in these 3 games, I think that's the only thing he can do with that. You know, that was a Pinto just said, you know, threw 3 fastballs in a row on the outer half, and that's, you know, fly ball to right field. So what?
One ball, 2 strikes. Outside, 2-2.
Pinto's not hasn't featured the off-speed stuff. He just said, you know what, I think I have a good one today, and just could keep firing it up there until you hit it. That was off-speed.
Yeah. A little up in the zone.
I'm going to keep my winning tap.
Yes, because you have to cash it in. And a strike 3 called. Shaw down looking for a second time today. 7 strikeouts for Phillies pitching.
What do you mean I got to cash it in? Again, Pinto right there. I mean, that's a good pitch because he's got an overpowering fastball, and then he throws something off speed like that. You saw Shaw committing to the fastball. He didn't think it was a strike, but it was. But that's a really, really good pitch after speeding him up with all those fastballs and then dropping that on him.
Now Jesse Aguilar, who's 0 for 2. He's flied out and lined out. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. Trade that in for 5 more Chorizos. Bouncer foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aguilar, 9 home runs, 34 runs batted in. It's part of it too. You look at some of these guys that are coming off the bench. You know, Perez, double digits in home runs. Aguilar, 9 home runs. No wonder they have 143 home runs this year.
It's such a great weapon to have if you're Craig Counsell, when you have guys off the bench who can, you know, that the other manager has to try to maneuver around. You know, I think that's where the Phillies struggle somewhat with their bench. They don't really have that one guy on their bench you can say, okay, we need a 2-run homer right here, give us one, or try to give us one.
Well, Brett Phillips, he hit his first major league home run.
Yeah, that euphoria didn't last a long time for it, did it? Phillies went bang, 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 real big bang.
Bouncer over to third, a foul ball. John, I think the Blue Angels just flew overhead.
I'm sure Larry's ducking. He seems to be enamored with that noise.
Air shows going on in the Milwaukee area. There they go.
I had a chance to go up in one of those.
Did you do it?
Nope.
Fly ball, shallow right field. Ty Kelly back. Williams in. Kelly makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 6th inning for Pinto. We have completed 6. We'll head to the 7th. The Phillies lead it 5-2. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. And the Phillies scored 4 runs in the 6th on a grand slam by Nick Williams. Jeremy Hellickson went 5 innings today, struck out 6 through 85 pitches. Brett Phillips had given the Brewers the 2-1 lead until the home run by Williams. And now we go to the 7th inning. Some changes for Milwaukee. Eric Thames comes in to play first base. There he is. The new pitcher is right-hander Carlos Torres. As we start the top of the 7th inning. First pitch to Michael Franco is taken inside. Torres in his 45th game, 4-4 with an ERA of 4.30. 2-0.
Had a nice visit between innings from the bull.
Yeah, I don't know how he meandered his way in here. He's Greg Lazinski. Fly ball to left field, short left field. Braun sprints in. And 1 away. The bull brought some brats.
Brought us some bratwurst. Yes, he did.
Yep.
Next batter, the catcher, Andrew Knapp.
He's staying in town for an extra day.
Had to pay him for the stretchy shorts he bought me last week.
Yeah.
He can't wait.
No, you got to make sure it's hot. How does it compare to the ones in the lunchroom here?
These are similar in taste. These are like, I like these because they have the. Oh boy, Andrew
Knapp with a single to center, his 2nd straight hit.
The casing is like
A little sharper.
yeah, crispier. Like when you bite into it, you feel like crunch on
Roll
it.
looks better too.
Yeah. I mean, you have one here if you want to find out.
I was saving it for you.
No, I'm good. Got a long flight. Buffalo burger on the plane.
Buffalo burger.
Isn't that what they have?
Bison
Oh,
burger.
bison,
Yeah.
same thing.
Well, same thing. I thought they added something since the last time we left. Tommy Joseph fouls one up the first base line. And it's 0-1. Tommy's 1 for 3 in the game. Leshak is warming up in the bullpen for the Phils. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
So if Neshek goes through the 7th unscathed, you would assume the 8th would be Luis Garcia?
I would think they have to make that transition, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Because Benoit pitched yesterday.
yeah. And the day before, right? Did he pitch in game 1? The first game of this series?
Two and 1 to Tommy Joseph.
Didn't he?
Yes.
He did. That's about it for the memory, though. Anything over 2 days, it's nil.
See if Tommy gets a pitch to hit here with the count 3 balls and 1 strike.
Nice deep breath. Clear the mind. Relax.
And he fouls it into the Brewers dugout. Inside, ball 4. And now first and second with 1 man down. Here comes Nick Williams. And Williams last time up was bringing the lumber. Brought to you by Yellowwood Grand Pressure Treated Pine.
First pitch breaking ball.
it looked like Nick said, you know what, I don't think he's going to challenge me first pitch. I've been hitting the first pitch, gets a couple hits here and there. We're going to throw him a breaking ball, and he delivered it for the grand slam. And the Blue Angels fly over for him to celebrate that grand slam. Let's bring in the lumber.
Let's see if we can pop another one here. Ground ball to first, backhanded by Thames. 1 and 2. That was his good double play. 3-6-1. No runs, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Time to stretch here, Milwaukee. It's 5-2. Phillies on top.
Yeah, it's a really good double play, but here's what's really special about it. It ends the inning, but Thames with the great play, good throw to Arcia. Arcia back to the first bit, or to the pitcher, and Carlos Torres. But watch Torres come in, because with the replay now and close plays, you don't know. He was going to make sure if Andrew Knapp was trying to go home, you don't assume that they're going to call him out. You throw it home if Knapp is going, and great awareness by Torres, and that's our State Farm double play.
So now Pat Neshek will lead things out of the bullpen. And Neshek will face Manny Pena. Pena today is 0 for 2. Shaq struck out the 3 hitters he faced yesterday. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outside, 2-2.
We haven't seen many comfortable at bats against Neshek all year.
No.
It's like he has that Greg Maddux telepathy that like he's in the middle of his windup and then he figures, okay, he's looking fastball, so I'm gonna throw a breaking ball.
Freddie Galvis shading his eyes from the sun and makes the catch. And one away. Yeah, it does seem like he's out thinking the hitters with the way he's coming to the plate. Keon Broxton is coming up. He's 0 for 2. There was an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, and Broxton looked like he had no chance.
Yeah, I think there's at some point some readjustments to the swing have to be made. But again, I mean, he has 14 home runs.
Yeah. Well, I think if you look at some of his numbers, he has been really streaky. I mentioned it before, he's 3 for his last 40. Prior to that, he was on a hot streak where he was hitting close to 400.
Darnell Coles.
Look at him shaking his head. They seem to like him as a hitting coach. 3 had assisted. 2 outs here in the 7th. Sunday, July 23rd, the Phillies will wrap up their series with the Brewers back home in Philadelphia. And it'll be the Pico Odubel Herrera Performance T-shirt given out to children 14 and under. As always, you can go to Phillies.com and check out the upcoming promotional schedule.
El Torito.
El Torito.
Apparently that means double in Spanish. He's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, he's right on the doorstep of matching his double total from all of last year. First pitch is in there to Arcia.
I could see Pat Neshek giving a guy with the approach like Garcia has a lot of difficulty. I think I would, because I had an open stance and closed and had a leg kick. I think I would have trouble against a guy like this too.
Got him. And Neshek retires the side in order. 6 up, 6 down for the Phillies bullpen. We have played 7. We move to the 8th inning. It's 5-2. Phillies on top. Your local Chevrolet dealers. And by Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEF-NOW or visit jeffersonhealth.org. Hello, John Kruk and Greg Murphy. I'm Tom McCarthy here in Milwaukee. Top of the 8th inning. Phillies on top 5-2. Time now for a Hyundai defensive play of the game. Daniel Nava moving well out in left field.
Yeah, Daniel Nava, this is a really good play right here to help Hellickson out. Yeah, you have to maneuver around that little corner right there. The higher railing goes down to the lower railing. What a great play by Daniel Nava. And that's our Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
And we start the top of the 8th inning. It'll be Ty Kelly, Cameron Perkins at the top of the Phillies order. Kelly is 1 for 2 today. And what you were talking about before, Luis Garcia is indeed warming up in the bullpen. Whoa, look out.
That's not the one Murph's in, is it?
No. Nope.
Safe. I am safe, John. Thank you for asking, though.
Hey, I was really concerned.
I could tell in your voice.
Some good top hand right there by Ty Kelly. Pulled it just a little bit.
They asked Ty if he wanted the bat, and he said, no, just put it in the crowd.
Well, we talked about that for the 3-game series in Miami. A few trips ago, he had 15 bats for the 3 days. So
He has got plenty of lumber.
say he has extras.
Inside corner and a strike 3 call. 1 away. Cameron Perkins is coming up, and let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, Tom, time for our unlimited baseball break presented by T-Mobile. The big news in baseball, you guys mentioned it early in the game, the Nationals getting some help for their struggling bullpen. They traded Blake Trinan and some prospects for Sean Doolittle and Ryan Madsen. No secret that the Nats have been in search of some help for that bullpen. They might not be done, but certainly that appears to be a good start, a good step in the right direction for the Nats. And speaking of trades, Jose Quintana traded to the Cubs earlier this week, and what a debut for him today against Baltimore. 7 innings pitched. He allowed 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 12 strikeouts. That is his Cubs debut. They win it easily today, 8-0. He also gets some run support, something he wasn't getting with the White Sox. So a good first day for Jose Quintana in a Cubs uniform, guys.
Yeah, they've talked about adding another piece or two. You know, we've been talking about Sonny Gray all weekend. The Cubs might be in the mix for him. And many people thought once they got Quintana that would be it. But they have said, no, we are going to try and add another starting pitcher. Perkins takes a strike. It's 2-1. NL Central, the Cubs obviously have won, as Murph alluded to. So they've gained a half game on the Brewers. They would be 4.5 games out if the Phillies hang on today. Upstairs.
That's funny because I read a thing where Theo Epstein said, look, you know, we won with these guys. We're not going to do anything. You know, we have a good enough team to win this thing again. And then like a week later, they went out and got, maybe that was Jed Hoyer that said that, but one of them did. And then they, you know, a week later, they go out and get Quintana. Now they're talking about getting more.
Yeah, I think one of the issues they have in that rotation is John Lackey.
Well, Arrieta hasn't been great either.
Well, that's true.
500 pitcher, the ERA close to 5. That's.
Three balls, 2 strikes to Perkins. Out to right field. Santana over toward the line. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. And as far as the Nationals are concerned, Ryan Madsen saved 30 games last year and has been used basically as a setup man this year with a 2.04 earned run average. You know, whether they go out and get another reliever remains to be seen. but they do get a couple guys that have ability to close.
Yes.
If need be.
And good guys to have on your team.
Yeah, Matson has experience not only with the Phillies, the Royals, postseason experience.
I read online that when Doolittle was told he was traded, there was a lot of emotion in the Oakland A's clubhouse about that.
Little looper back at third. Shaw on the run and makes the catch. And the Phillies go down in order in their half of the 8th inning. Nothing across. We've completed 7.5. We'll move on to the bottom of the 8th with the Phillies hanging on to a 3-run lead. Don't forget, coming up after the ball game, it's Phillies Postgame Live presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Marshall Harris and Ricky Vitalico are standing by. They'll touch on the big grand slam by Nick Williams and finally getting to the Brewers bullpen. Also, Odubel Herrera and his 2 doubles. And Jeremy Hellickson's 5 innings today. Again, that's coming up on Phillies Postgame Live presented by Cure Auto Insurance. As Luis Garcia will take over for Neshek here in the 8th. And he will face Eric Thames, who's up for the first time. Thames hitting .249, 23 home runs, and 44 runs batted in.
Okay. Guess we understand now who's pitching the 8th, don't we?
I think they may make the transition to Garcia.
You know, at this point, with only 29 wins coming into this game today, sometimes you have to take a look. How old is Garcia?
Garcia's 27, but he's been with the Phillies for, you know, the last handful of years. And he's had ups and downs, there's no doubt. Swing and a miss. That's a good split right there to start off the 8th inning. Actually, Garcia is 30. Made his major league debut when he was 27.
Well, he's got an above average fastball of anywhere from 95, 98 miles an hour, but that pitch right there is the devastator. Look how it comes out of those fingers, has that tumble, starts at the waist of Thames right down the middle and ends up in the dirt. And trust me, if anyone has ever tried to hit that with someone who throws with high velocity and that split, Good luck.
Oh, again, it's a pitch that he picked up and really tried to master this past spring. It's made a world of difference. Oliver Drake warming up in the bullpen for the Brewers. Inside, 2-0. .96 and right by Jonathan Villar, who was 1 for 3, couple strikeouts and a single today.
See if Mr. Splitty comes out to visit. If I'd full with it now.
Yeah, really.
Pretty good one there, wasn't it? 97 on the outer half.
And he got him. Knapp hangs on. Back-to-back strikeouts for Garcia. Good, 2 outs here in the 8th inning.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 97, 98, running away from a left-handed hitter on the outside black is a pretty darn good pitch. Luis Garcia just executed 2 in a row after falling behind 2-1 to Jonathan Villar, and 2 by him, and it'd be nice to finish this thing up with striking out the side, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Domingo Santana has struck out once today. It's one of 10 strikeouts today for Phillies pitching. Way outside, 2-0.
Two lefties. He was locked in location wise as soon as the righty steps up there and starts pulling the ball.
And ball 4. So Santana walks. And Ryan Braun is due up with a runner at first and 2 men down.
Liked what Andrew Knapp did. He kept pulling that ball away from Santana, so Andrew Knapp set up inside. And, you know, even though Garcia still pulled it, Andrew went out there to tell him, you know, let's get back in this thing now. You know, the last thing you want to do is, you know, lose command and walk Ryan Braun, and you know, you got the guy coming up with 66 RBIs coming into the game, and Travis Shaw.
Yeah, you don't want to put the tying run to the plate.
No. Save some gray hairs on Pete McCannon's head.
The last of them.
Yeah. There's only a couple left that aren't, so make sure you can keep those.
Braun grounds it back toward the middle. That'll leak into center. Base hit. Santana's on his way to third, and he'll get there easily. First and third with 2 men down. It does bring the tying run to the plate and Travis Shaw.
Yeah, but that's better than walking him. You know, you had a chance. You know, again, O'Brien, I mean, he broke his bat. Hit a 100 hopper up the middle. Not like he crushed it, but again, though, it does bring the tying run up. And Stephen Vogt has come out in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, the pitcher's spot is due up next.
Oh, it's just amazing how quick things turn. I mean, 2 strikeouts, just abused the first 2 hitters. And then Santana comes up and he can't throw it anywhere near the plate. And first pitch, Braun hits a grounder up the middle, and now you're falling behind Travis Shaw.
1 ball, no strikes to Shaw. Outside, 2-0. Phillies have Hector Neris now warming up in the bullpen. Freddie in to just break the tide a little bit. There's Hector. Braun is on his way to second. And now it's 3-0. Probably be the third pass ball charged to Andrew Knapp this year.
Yeah, that ball didn't touch the ground, did it?
Nope.
Nah, it's tough play, though. When you're talking about a guy throwing with high velocity and he misses that badly. Well, don't think you can just toss a cookie up here to get strike 1. Got a feeling that this man is turned loose.
He was turned loose out to left field. Perkins shading his eyes from the sun and makes the catch. It got a little tense, but we can relax now as we have wrapped up the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. We'll go to the 9th. Phillies 5, Brewers 2. Garcia was able to get out of that inning. He knew it was a little tenser than he would like to have been. But now as we go to the 9th inning, the Phillies are up by 3, 5-2. Oliver Drake takes over for the Brewers. And he will face Freddie Galvis to start this inning off.
Brock Stasio hit for Luis Garcia, but man, it's just amazing how the tide of the ebb and flow of games, and you know, you wonder why a lot of guys, once they leave the game, they end up with stomach issues. It was cruising. Thames, sit down. Villar, sit down. And then ball 4. Single. 3-0 to the Guys leading their team in RBIs hit his 20th home run last night. You're like, oh boy. So Pete has that one non-gray hair still remaining.
That's right. Here's Galvis to lead it off against Drake. Galvis today, he's had a tough one at the plate. He's 0 for 4. 3 of his 4 have not gone out of the infield in the air. Down the left field line.
They hit a hard hit grounder up the middle. Keep you on the ball, Freddie.
Nope. Pops it up again and out of play. Oliver Drake is combining forces with Eric Thames and with Corey Knebel. They visited the Miller Brewing plant earlier this year, and they came up with a recipe for a brand new IPA that's going to be given out here at the ballpark later on this season. Knebel's a brewer. He brews his own beer. So Thames.
I thought I liked him.
Yeah.
What's an IPA or IBA? What did you say?
IPA. It's an India Pale Ale. It's a little thicker beer, I think. A little thicker beer. And
like, where would Knebel brew his own beer at? Like, what?
That's a good question. I think he can do it right at home.
Oh, really?
Out of play.
Seems to be different rules here than in West Virginia, because
you're not. Well,
wow.
That's a still. You can't have anything like that.
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
okay. So I should call and have mine taken down?
No, I mean, if you don't tell anybody you have it.
Whoops.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Galvis. Outside. I don't know if you like this or not, but it has a little bit of a grapefruit flavor to it.
Love grapefruit. Big fruit guy. You've seen me munching down on fruit before game.
That's right. Bouncer back toward the middle. And Galvis is retired. And one away. And here comes Brock Stassi to pitch hit. Stassi, as a pinch hitter, is 3 for 21 this year. Oh, and 1. Overall hitting 178. He has 2 home runs. Little tapper foul. Boy, Drake's got an interesting motion.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to throw the ball straight up in the air, and then all of a sudden it's got to be deceiving, because it's, you know, 91, 92, but it looks like it's coming in there at 100. This guy gets low on that back leg, and so it looks like he's going to throw the ball straight uphill. Look at this. And then all of a sudden he went from uphill to downhill.
Doesn't generate much of a leg kick at all. Outside.
Why do they say that pitcher always throwing down? Like, you're standing on a mound higher than anyone else on the field.
Right.
It has to go down, right?
Well,
you're throwing downhill.
You are throwing downhill. Sometimes if you don't get the proper extension, though, it doesn't look like.
But still downhill.
Popped foul.
I had these interesting conversations with Bobby Valentine about that, and
what did he tell you?
He said you can't throw uphill, so it has to be downhill.
Right.
And then we talked about, everyone says keep your hands inside the ball. He said, well, if you keep your hands outside the ball, isn't the ball going to hit you in the forearm?
Well, yeah.
Right? He's an interesting man, that Bobby V.
In the dirt, 2-2.
So these helmets the Phillies are wearing, it's just for this weekend.
Just for this weekend. You want one?
No. Are they going to raffle them off or auction them off?
Well,
or something?
I think they'll keep the helmets in storage for future use. Other turn back the clock days. The uniforms, well, I think those could be raffled off.
I like those. I'd like to see that in the normal rotation.
Of the 16?
16 uniforms
This year they'll use 16 different uniforms.
Wow.
Another foul ball. Stassi was trying to help out the home plate umpire because he saw that Pena was jumping out on it.
16 different uniforms.
Yeah, because of
Well, yeah, the Memorial
Father's
Day.
Memorial Day, 4th of July,
Mother's Day, don't they wear it?
Mother's Day. They wore pink. Yep.
And then they have the day game, the normal gray. I like these better though.
On the inside corner, that ball cut right on back. 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
And today is a very special day.
Today is National Ice Cream Day.
Absolutely.
I could have sworn we've had that a couple other times.
It should be held more than once a year.
Tomorrow's National Peach Ice Cream Day.
Ooh. Why aren't we in Atlanta for that one?
What a no to Franco. Third Sunday in July, National Ice Cream Day.
You didn't know that? You had to look it up?
No, I really thought that we have celebrated this before this year.
Well, that might have been when Schmitty was there. It's always ice cream day on Saturdays and Sundays when Schmitty's there.
I could have sworn that it was earlier this season.
Well, I celebrated with, they got crushed up Butterfingers in there.
Up here in the lunchroom?
Yeah, so you put the crushed up Butterfingers on the
like
bottom.
like a crust.
Like a layer, yeah. Then you put the ice cream, vanilla, and then you put more
Butterfingers.
Butterfinger. Oh.
Ground ball to shortstop. 3-0 green light. Arcia throws out Franco. 6-3 on the putout. Nothing across for the Phils. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Hector Neris trying to save this one. The Phils up 5-2.
Phillies with a 5-2 lead, hoping to get out of here with a win before heading off to Miami to start a 3-game series tomorrow. It's 7 o'clock. It'll be Jared Eichhoff and Tom Kohler going in the first game. On Tuesday, well, it's a mystery for both teams, but we're thinking maybe perhaps Vince Velasquez gets to start on Tuesday for the Phils. That remains to be seen. Then on Wednesday, a 12 o'clock Eastern start. It'll be Nick Pivetta and Dan Straley in that one. But guys, it's 5-2. This one's not over yet.
No, Murph, we need 3 outs for Hector Neris. Hector 2-3 with an ERA of 3.52. By the way, Murph is not the only Murphy that's been in town here in Milwaukee this weekend. Mom and Dad were in town, right, Murph?
Right. They were here. They're gone now.
They're gone now. They're up at Lambeau Field.
I want to go there someday.
Oh, it's a great place to
go
watch a football
game there someday.
It is an outstanding place to watch a football game. They've redone a lot of it, too. And from a press box standpoint, what used to be one of the toughest ones is now one of the best to see a game.
John, I'll get us tickets. I'll pick you up. We'll head on up there.
We're going to drive?
From here.
Yeah, it'll be
fly in
fun.
here and going to drive.
Oh.
Why?
Me and Murph in a car from Philly to...
No, you're going to fly here and then drive from here.
On.
No, I'm thinking RV.
Yeah. A Sprinter. Captain seat, satellite dish.
Now you're talking.
All right, let's go, Hector. Let's go, Murph. Lock in on this game. We need 3 outs.
Hernan Perez leads it off. It takes below the knees. It's 2-0. Perez homered in yesterday's game. There's a strike, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Stephen Vogt, remember, was in the on-deck circle when Shaw flew out. I guess they're thinking that, you know, Perez can get on. And who's up after?
Fly ball behind first. Tough play. Kelly on the run. Here comes Williams. Kelly can't handle it. Boy, I really thought that was up there high enough for Nick Williams to come in and make that catch. I mean, Kelly was there too.
Yeah, I don't know if Nick was saying I got it, or you got room, you got room. Either way, that's a ball that
It's got to be caught.
good. Yep.
Well, here comes Manny Pena. That is the 4th hit allowed by the Phillies bullpen in this series. They've been good. 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 11 strikeouts. Down and away, 1-0. Vogt has come out of the on-deck circle now to pinch hit for Broxton. Broken bat looper out toward left. That's going to drop in front of Perkins. And the tying run is coming to the plate. When does life get easier on the baseball field for the Phils? I mean, nothing is easy.
Yeah, but you know what? With that split that Hector has, you're 1 pitch away from a double play, and you know, trying to get two quick outs on 1 pitch.
Look at Bob's expression. Pete said something, and Bob just closed his eyes and just shook his head.
I think that other gray hair, or other
It's there, huh?
dark colored hair that Pete had, is gone.
1 ball and no strikes. Vogt has 7 hits, 4 home runs since coming to the Brewers. Fastball in and low, 2-0.
I thought he would be turned loose right there.
I thought he would too. He had to expect he was going to throw him a fastball. That's a late time. To a 294.
He can go split right here and see if he can get a ground ball roll over to Ty Kelly. Or if not, a strikeout.
Swing and a miss. He got him with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. One away. 11 strikeouts today for Phil's pitching. And now Arcia.
That's a nice one there, running away. You know, Stephen Vogt's up there looking one thing, and that's try to tie this game up. And so what do? You run a fastball away and hope he's in pull mode, and he was, and that's why he couldn't put that ball in play.
Arcia is 1 for 3, couple strikeouts, and a single to left. On the outside corner with that first pitch, 0-1. Oh, and 2. Boy, make a good pitch here.
Yeah, that's the thing. He has to make a good pitch here, but you know, if he doesn't get a double play here, he's got to make good pitches on the next guy too.
That's Thames. Fly ball. Right side. Tommy Joseph is under it. Infield fly rule has been called. 2 outs. And now they need to get Thames to wrap up the final game of this series. Don't forget Phillies post-game live. The guys are standing by. Marshall and Ricky ready to talk about this ball game. Thames with 23 home runs, 44 runs batted in. Struck out earlier in this game. Popped him up right around the second base bag. Freddie Galvis says he's got it. He's under it, makes the catch, and the ball game is over. And you can breathe a sigh of relief because the Phils have closed out the 9th inning for a 5-2 victory. Well, it's nothing is ever easy, at least in 2017 for the Phillies. Nick Williams is our Chevrolet player of the game. His grand slam, the difference in today's ball game. His first career grand slam, also mixed in a single as well. And the Phils will get out of Dodge with at least one victory this weekend here in Milwaukee. Here's our W.B. Mason delivery of the game, and it's that grand slam by Nick Williams. It was a beauty of a shot.
Yes, it was. And Tyler Webb came in, and his first pitch as a Milwaukee Brewer didn't end well for him, but when it ended well for